Well, that's a story that I did earlier on. But well, now, so many issues already generated by this very action. Can we guarantee appropriate security in the next 6 weeks? Or are we to expect any form of postponement? What does the law say about a shift in the date of elections? And what are the implications of the postponement? Let me just remind you of the dates that have been shifted and the new date. In case that you have rescheduled, you have a program and you've planned for February the 14th, especially those who are looking forward to Valentine, where things have changed now. No more election day. These are the new dates. The presidential and the National Assembly elections will not hold on the February 14th as scheduled. There is a 6-week shift in the polls, and it is now March the 28th. And for the governorship and that of the state assembly election, it is April the 11th. Those are the new dates that we will be looking forward to. INEC says there is really no assurance that we will be seeing any form of shift. Whether or not we'll be seeing any kind of shift, is it permissible by law? What are the implications of this? These are some of the issues we'll be discussing on the program. And tonight we'll take a look at all the angles to the matter as we bring some of the major players to discuss this issue. And I have joining me now a member, chieftain of the PDP, and of course, a member of the Board of Trustees and a leader of the party in the Southwest, Chief Bode joins us on Politics Today. Thank you for joining us on the program tonight.
Always my pleasure.
How does the postponement of these polls come to you? Looking at the fact that your party has gone around town, gone around almost all the zones of the country and perhaps so many parts of the country, and now this shift, how does it affect your party?
Now, everybody would require a conducive atmosphere to exercise their rights. And when the news broke that there was postponement, of course we have all been going around campaigning, talking to Nigerians, marshalling out the points that would the hearts and minds of the people. But when I listened to Professor Jega's press conference, I cannot but agree with him. But he is posturing mainly on security. Security, yes, is part of the parameters which you must look at. The other ones are the adequacy of the PVC, the
voter cards.
The voter cards. Now, here in Lagos and in some parts of the South, have they been uniformly distributed? What is the percentage now? We will need to know. Because this election is so vital to the survival of this country. And when we were told by their organization that X percentage has been distributed in one part of the country and only 66% distributed in the South, people were weary. It is not just a wishful thinking election. This election would decide the future of our great country. And when you come to equity, you come there with your clean hands. What is good for the goose is good for the gander. If you have distributed X much to one area of the country, the other area must also have X much. Fair is fair. And talking about security, yes, of course, it's very important. The National Security Advisor is not a wishy-washy person. It's an officer and a gentleman, a prince of the royal house in Sokoto. And when he came out saying that there was need for a cautionary look at the security matter in the northeast of the country, we must take it seriously. Because if you look at it, that means 6 states out of 36. You need 2/3 majority in every house, in every 25% in every state minimum for you to qualify. Now, that means 6 out of 30 will mean you now have 30 states. Now, how do you do your calculation? People can go to court thereafter and say, look, we've been de-enfranchised, and we don't want any crisis in this country. I am happy that the issue of the PVC is surely but gradually coming to a reasonable level of distribution. I can talk about Lagos State. It's getting very well organized, and we have left the panic station. The other one is the issue of the card reader itself, which Professor Jega and his team must answer this question. What happens on the day of election if a particular card reader is faulty? What do they do? Do you cancel the results? Because if you don't have the card reader for the computer to pick up the number of people voting, what happens?
All right, just before we go too deep into some other issues, of course, I'd like to ask you, so you agree with the postponement?
It makes a lot of sense. To me, it makes a lot of sense. Now, we had prepared, overtly prepared, but with that, you cannot but say, yes, if those are the reasons adduced to this, we would accept it.
Your party has prepared, but have you prepared to the extent that some people are saying that your party was behind the shift in the dates?
That's an absolute lunacy. You know, people, please, should come out from this idea of throwing tantrums and throwing bottles and this when there is nothing. What Jega said, is that not a logical sense? He is talking about this will give us an opportunity to now update and ensure that many more Nigerians collect their PVC cards. Doesn't that make sense? Secondly, he's talking about de-enfranchising a whole zone. If things are not working well in the Northeast, could we go to the elections? Are we 30 states or 36 states? What happens? And now I just added another question which Jega must answer. What happens if the particular card reader is faulty in your area? Now they will have time themselves to train those who will use it, to train all our agents to monitor. These things are new in our system, in the procedure. And it's like two people going for an exam, competing. You give 100% of the exam papers to one, and you only shortchange the other one by giving him 66%. What do you think the outcome will be like?
So, Chief Bode George, so it's not true in any case that your party has pressured the umpire to shift the dates?
You know, by law, the only agency that has a right to look at make pronouncements on election process is the INEC. When the National Security Advisor, who has the complete umbrella look in details of the security situation in this country, makes his advice to him, you know, he said also that they need the security agents to be able to meet all their activities. If the security agents are saying, please, there is a problem here, would we say no? No, we won't say that. It makes more sense to me when we were quite agitated, when the rumors were flying all over the place. Some were saying, oh, they had postponed. Others were saying they hadn't postponed. And you know, for every move you do, campaigning, you need logistic support. A lot of funding, a lot of movement, a lot of, you know, physical effort and all that had been put in place. We were all ready that on that D-Day, the people were going to vote. But then, because of what they said, we saw a lot of sense in it. Unless you must have come from the outer planet, you will have to agree with what we are saying. And it has nothing to do with politics. They haven't cleared it. And of course, the most important thing there is that you look at the Constitution. All these decisions, are they still within the confines of the Constitution?
All right.
If it is yes.
Well, one would think that after the Council of State meeting,
right,
and the meeting ended at a position when they say no, we do not have substantial reasons to postpone the election. And at the end of the day, we saw 24, 48 hours later, INEC saying they're going to shift the elections after consulting with other bodies. The opposition party is already saying that that move is a setback for democracy in Nigeria. Do you agree?
Absolutely no. I cannot agree with such a position. What was discussed at the Council of States? Because when you listen to the briefing, you had the briefing from the governor of Imo and the briefing from governor of Ondo State. The governor of Imo was stressing, they both attended the same meeting, was stressing that, they had agreed substantially, those were his words, substantially, not fully, that everything was ready. That was what the governor of Imo was saying. But if you listen to the governor of Ondo, he stated very clearly that the final decision was that the INEC should go into deeper analysis and come out to say yes or no. And INEC is the only body. Even the National Council of State is advisory. The INEC has the final say. And when you listen to Jega, he was clear that, look, yes, we were waiting that maybe by midweek this week, a lot of people would have collected their PVC cards, and reasonably they are ready. That's what he said. But because of the security situation in the Northeast, he cannot guarantee, he doesn't control the security agencies, but they need them to make sure that the elections would have been peaceful, will run perfectly well, without any hindrance, without any hoodlums. But having said that, he said, look, I don't control the security agencies. These were the conditions, and we abide by such conditions. So who is fooling who?
All right.